Hitler also revised history, and in Hitler's case, erased part of his own past. On March 11th, 1938, enthusiastic crowds greeted the Führer as he annexed Austria and made it part of the Third Reich. But Hitler had another very personal agenda. Once Austria belonged to Hitler, he took steps to eradicate any suspicion of his Jewish past.
One thing Hitler, from the very beginning, sought to do was to cover up the evidence of his past. And so, by doing so, he caused a lot of rumors and myths to be projected upon the blank space of the past that he tried to erase.
Hitler eradicated the Austrian village of Dollersheim and a dark secret that haunted him for years. The birth registry of Dollersheim held the birth certificate of his father, who Hitler suspected was the illegitimate son of a Jew. Hitler used the village as an artillery range. Round after round of artillery fire crashed into the village, demolishing its buildings and making the graves in the cemetery unrecognizable.
You come upon this sort of ruined church with just some hollow walls standing, and it seemed to me in some way a metaphor for the ruin of the absence, the vacancy of the historical record on Hitler's past.
By obliterating the town, Hitler erased suspicion of his own Jewish blood.
I've been told that Peter Joseph is not his real name. Why would a person
he got death threats for his first film.
From the Christian right, from his first film, he had to.
I hope I get death threats from the Christian right.
He's a very nice guy, by the way, and he's sincere, but he didn't know what the factors were that shape human behavior.
Yeah, okay. Why do you think so many people think Peter Joseph is a paid big businessman, and that's how he got all this funding for his movie and his movie Zeitgeist
I know Peter Joseph, and I know him personally since he's been over the house many times.
Yeah.
And he makes a lot of notes while he talks to me. He asks me thousands of questions like you're doing.
Yeah.
All the different questions.
Yeah.
Then he says, how can I help now? I says, you can help by studying more and speaking less and writing more about physical events rather than your own opinions.
Sure.
He says, you're right, thank you very much.
Okay, a friend of mine...
I also know Peter Joseph, and I knew at the time when he was making Zeitgeist Addendum, there were people who wanted to give him money to do it. He wouldn't take a penny because he didn't want to be under the thumb of anyone, so he could release what he wanted to release.
Sure.
Produced that 2-hour sensation that was well over, last time I looked, it was about 4 or 5 months ago. It was at 15 million downloads off of Google alone. It's called Zeitgeist, and as a matter of fact, he actually said on a radio talk show that he based the entire work on my work. He based the entire movie on my work, that I inspired him to do that 2-hour video. And I was amazed. I didn't know anything about it. So somebody called and told me, did you know that there's a movie out there called Zeitgeist based on your work? And the guy's name was Peter Joseph Merola, and you can go out and check it out and watch it yourself on the Google. It's called Zeitgeist, Z-E-I-T-G-E-I-S.
There is one thing for sure. We are being deluged, and in the best possible sense of that word, I use it, with documentaries. Many of them are excellent, some are so-so, and once in a while you get one that is absolutely fabulous. And I know you're not supposed to use that word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Zeitgeist. Z-E-I-T-G-E-I-S-T. Many of you have seen it online, I'm sure. Get a DVD copy of it if you can. It'll be clearer. It's amazing. It's actually 3 movies in one, if you want to look at it that way. And we're very honored to have the producer of that film on tonight for our first hour. He is Peter J., and he's standing by now. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on, man.
How many documentaries have you produced before this one?
This is the first one, actually.
That's what I know. Now, okay. when I started watching it, I have to admit that I immediately recognized Jordan Maxwell when I heard his voice, and he's been a friend for probably, I'll bet 14 years now, and one of the first people I had on the program when I started it, we're in our 14th year, and it was so good to hear Jordan. I know him very well. We've had so many hours on the program together. Not for many years, though. He's been a guest. It's been a long time. But when I heard him on there, he never sounded better, and it's just great. How did you get connected with Jordan Maxwell?
Well, actually, I've been studying Jordan for a long time. He's probably the lifeblood of the entire piece. What should be understood, though, is that the segments that are taken of Jordan are from his own productions. So basically, I've been trying to get in touch with him, frankly, for quite some time, and he's a very difficult man to get in touch with. He should be aware of this film by now, but he's actually, as far as I know, I don't know if he's even seen this project, even though I have physically sent it to. I sent it to him, but he never responded. He's apparently, he's a kind of an elusive guy.
That's
but,
Jordan. No, you got it.
Yeah,
Oh, but believe me, he's aware of it. He's seen it, Peter. Believe me, he's a man. He doesn't miss much.
Right. But I've owed him a debt of gratitude because he is, as I said, the lifeblood of the piece. The piece basically kind of walks through his work in many different ways, from the first section to not as much the middle section, but he is very much outspoken about part 2, and the third section in regards to the corporation of the United States and just the way things have been operating and the takeovers. And was really proud how it actually worked out that I got to have him as sort of the central focal point, speech-wise, in each section.
True.
So I'm hoping to actually finally get in touch with him. I really love to talk to him. But,
I'll see what I can do to help. I haven't talked to him, actually, a couple of times in the last 4 or 5 years. He just got into all kinds of different things, but we spent many hours. I bet we spent 30, 40 hours, I don't know how many hours on the air together, talking about his UFO experiences, about his work with symbolism, about his work with the Masonic Order. He is so wise. That man literally blazed a trail for scores of other researchers who have come along and quite frankly, stolen from Jordan Maxwell and not given him credit, which is unfortunately and tragically the way a lot of people fashion research today. That's what they do. It's all derivative. They borrow. They don't give credit.
Take some final calls, guys.
Yes.
Wildcard line, Matt in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Matt.
They must find it difficult, those who have taken authority as the truth rather than truth as the authority. To make such a profound statement, that surely shows the level of enlightenment that Gerald Massey did attain throughout his career studying Egyptology and symbolism. And I wanted to commend you three gentlemen for sharing your level of enlightenment to the world in the hope that everyone who's listening and not just hearing can attain that truth that's necessary to reverse what's been done all throughout the world, like you guys were speaking of. And I also wanted to commend, I wanted to commend Jordan for, I know he didn't maybe work with Peter Joseph Merola for Zeitgeist, but that's how I was first introduced to Jordan's work through that. And yes, it was an integral part of the movie. It wouldn't have been the same without that. And I just wanted to ask Jordan a few questions. Have you spoken with Peter Joseph Merola about the upcoming addendum to Zeitgeist? And I am glad that you guys are speaking about this because everyone needs to know about this.